Welcome back. Another episode. Meet Lemmy, the V6 powered BMW Mini, which doesn't go anywhere. Alright, today I think we're going to show you what we're going to be doing. I think we've completely done a 180 on the intercooler setup. I've ended up basically getting myself some charge coolers. They're quite small ones, but I think we can always upgrade to bigger ones anyway, because they were the cheapest basically I could find. And yeah, we're going to try and fit them because it's basically the 4 big pipes running to the front. I'm not too worried about turbo lag. I know a lot of people mention it. I think it's a lot of I'm no turbo expert, and everybody else seems to think they are turbo experts, but everyone talks about turbo lag on massive long pipes, but I don't think anyone's really, they just say it happens, which it definitely does, but I think there's ways around it, and in the end it's just always a compromise. This is going to be a compromise of the size of the charge coolers, etc. So you always compromise on something, but the thing with the charge cooler is obviously we can upgrade it slightly if we can make sure the right positioning, and also pump even colder water through with freezer water, dry ice it, anything. But yeah, what it does allow us is just run a lot smaller pipes to the front, and but it does involve having another radiator up front, even though that's replaced the charge cooler. But we need intercoolers, but we need a water pump, which I haven't got yet. So if anyone's got like some sort of little charge cooler pump, that would come in handy as well. Otherwise I'll have a look online, I think, and see what non-generic thing we can find on eBay which does the same job. And yeah, so thanks for all the support and all the advice, and keep on bringing it. So what I think we'll do is just play about with this intercooler now, charge cooler, and just see if we can find a place for it to fit. Yeah, let's try that. All right, I didn't film any of that. I've got one side mocked in. I don't know if I'm 100% happy with it, but I'm not untoward. So yeah, that goes down to the turbo. The only downside with this is I should really mount these charge coolers to the engine somehow, because as the engine rocks, all this is going to flex, and if this mounted to the body, you need a lot more sort of flex, and I don't know if I've got enough flex there or not. But then also I don't know if I can mount it to the engine, because there's only so many places it can be mounted to. But we'll work on that. Yeah, in the end we can put some sort of flexible mount in there just to sort of take the weight. Other options. Just put the wastegate dump valve, so I apologise. Just rested up there. It's not even on there. I don't even know if I'm going to use it. I bought these off eBay. As you can tell, I buy everything off eBay. I should be sponsored by them. The other ones, see, there they are on the standard one, but they're round the opposite way to what I think, but I don't know if that's because they can still work the other way. So basically, I'm trying to think, there's a valve in here that opens, and so basically the valve opens with a spring in it, which is controlled by the vacuum, and that lets air through. But then if it was built the other way, air would still go through in here and out there. So that's what I'm just thinking. They look reversed, but I still think they're the same, because basically this is the high pressure side. As the butterfly shuts inside your engine here, there's a throttle body in there. Butterfly shuts, you've taken your foot off the throat, there's turbos are still spinning, air's coming through the intercoolers, pushing onto here, and it needs to go somewhere. Sometimes, there's other places that you don't need to, and you can turbo stall and not do blah, blah, blah. I'm no expert, but that's the principle. So I think that would work, and I'll just block up the old stuff, and we're all good, and we get a nice chuffing noises, nice by your ear, especially if we've got 2 of them. So let's see if we can mock the other side up and see if we can get that looking similar. I'm waiting on some. These are actually 2 1/4. Everything else is 2-inch pipe, because obviously they're sort of like small turbos really. So you're not sort of into 2.5s or anything like that. Not at the moment. And then obviously, yeah, we'll put some 90s on these or some whatever, and then they just go down. I think I'm just going to run 2 pipes to the back here, then split. So 1 radiator for both charge coolers for now. Again, we can upgrade, and I think this is a better option now. As I was already, I'm already sort of simplifying this. Okie dokie, we just played about. Touch wood so far on my head that I haven't really ruined a pipe yet. I don't think we've overcut it short, so I think this sort of side's fitting a little bit better. That side could be a little bit high, technically, if we wanted. Doesn't in reality matter, but you know, if you wanted the pipes horizontal. Yeah, so I could just drop down a little bit. But looking at the height of that bottom fitting down there compared to that one, fractionally, but not mad. They're not far in the same place. The turbos actually sort of have different outlets because of, I think, the oil filter and stuff. So you can't run exactly the same pipe layout down there. I've had to put like a 45 silicon in that one, where that one's just a 90 straight into it. And again, dump valves just there for aesthetics and thumbnail shot. Yeah, in principle. Obviously these can be rotated right round, so we can have the fittings completely on the other side, you know, wherever we want, whether they're big enough or not. But to be honest, I think once we've got them mocked up now, we could easily fit bigger ones in if we need to. Just a case of getting some made or custom made. I know you can get these in different lengths and different widths. So yeah, but the principle is it's get us something up and running. All right, well, I think we might swap to the front of the car now, just so we can play about with the radiator, and I'll show you what radiator I managed to pick up. I'm not too sure what's for tea. It could be, got a cowboy steak, so that needs to be got. Got that from Lidl, so yeah, mostly that. Welcome to the front of the car. This is the front, not the back. There's the fuel tank. Classic MPI Mini if you're trying to catch up. I did find when I was moving stuff from my container, looking for other stuff, I found, I'm not too sure, somebody sent it to me for the Frank build, or I just had it laying around anyway. But yeah, so worst case, we drill a hole, whack that in there, job's a good one. Not that we've got a problem now, obviously, because we can get to this, because we're not going to have any big boost pipes. And I'll tell you why we're not having any big boost pipes, because we've changed our mind and gone charge cooler route. So I randomly, again on eBay, in a lunch hour, picked up a charge cooler radiator. Could be bigger, I'm sure, could be smaller, could be 2, could be 1, could be 5. But that's what we got. Let me zoom out just so you can see better. And so yeah, that, I don't know whether, in reality, I don't think it would have fitted actually. In reality, so if I hadn't moved the radiator back, but we're leaving the radiator where it is now, I think, because we made all the bracket up. Could tweak them, but yeah, so there's inlets and outlets at this end, so that's around that, and that should be perfecto. So we just need to figure out some mounts, because it looks like it's designed to sort of just solid brackets and hard mounted. I think we're going to try and get a bit of cardboard on this before I damage it. Okay, what's my current thinking? I'm thinking I want to keep the aircon round, because it'd be great to get the aircon working one day, and if I then have to move all this again and change the rad setup just to fit an aircon rad back in, well, I know this mini one fits and it's clips on and all good. So if we leave it there, all good. It clips in at the bottom here, bolts on the top, so we've got a chance to use the bolts at the top to do something. So basically what I'm thinking is mounting this to this, so all 3 rads that are together and drop in. Not much on the bottom here to get onto. It's all aluminium, you can't sort of drill or do anything. But I did notice that these rubber bits sort of clip on, and I'm thinking, well, we can trim them down a little bit, if anything. But then basically what we could do is put a bit of plate on here with a hole in it, and that can come up to these and down, and then this will clip back on again and push on, and that will just hold them on there for as you're fitting it. But once it's actually the rad's sat in there, not going anywhere, it would try and fall forward a bit, maybe. I need to think. Okay, we've got an hour left of the day before we have to scarper. So that's my current plan. I'm just knocking up some 3mm sheet, drill some holes. I could have made it in 1 piece, but I just found it easier to make it in 2, and we'll just give a bit of a weld. So that will go on there. As you can see, the rubber bung there. We might cut the rubber bung down a bit, because there's like a little clip that it sort of pushes onto, like a seal, a little groove. And yeah, I think that should work. Maybe it's putting too much support. Maybe we need a support going right across, but we'll give it a go. I think once we get some top ones on there. I've done it slightly off center, just a fraction, just to make these pipes a little bit close to this edge. I don't think it will matter to the OCD people, but yeah, it just allows me to then just run some 90s onto those, and jobs are good, and it's quite nice. Okay, other side done. I need to get some shorter bolts, but we'll worry about that another time. So yeah, we'll get some welds on those, and then could try it in the car quickly if we're happy with them. We could get some paint on them at the end of the day as well, but they'll do, won't they? Okay, we ran out of time to do the top mounts, but I've dropped it in there. It still actually fits. I haven't cut those rubbers down yet, so technically they're not on, but technically they shouldn't go anywhere either. So as it's all hanging on, if we do want to move the rad forward, because we can, it's all together. So yeah, I think that'll work, and there's plenty of room there for the charge cooler water pipes to go down. So yeah, I do listen to people, but I also don't listen to people, but also I change my mind a lot as well, as we all do in these projects. And yes, if I thought more before, I'd do different decisions, but I'd like to just try things, see if they work. If they don't work, we do something else. It's just the way I work. And yeah, adds a bit of entertainment to you guys. The other thing I have picked up, I bought these for Frank as well. MGF stainless steel pipes. I actually bought new ones when I did Frank. The prices have gone up, so I picked up some second-hand ones for Lemmy, but stainless steel, so should be alright. And I also picked up some heater pipes as well. These are for the sort of obviously a heater matrix inside the car. These normally run inside, they're steel. Doesn't look like you can buy stainless anyway, but again, so we might pick up another set of these, because again, these are the perfect sort of size for the charge cooler water pipes running back and forward. So I'm hoping that these will be long enough and give me something to play with. I've still got a few 90s left over and stuff from Frank to sort of run under the car and yeah, join up. So yeah, obviously that's going to be to the main radiator, and that's going to be to the charge cooler slash heater pipes as well, because I want to really connect the heater back up as well. That would make sense, because again, some of these cars are very critical on the engine to actually have the heater. You can't just block it off. You've got to sort of keep it flowing, because it sometimes triggers a thermostat and stuff. Anyway, let's wrap up. All right. Thank you for watching. If you could hit the like button, that'd be great. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. I know I say it every time, but a lot of people don't subscribe. They should try. It really helps me out, YouTube algorithm wise. Don't ask why. And if you want to help me out anyway, check out the description. As I said, I always shout out things I might need. If anyone's got anything laying around second hand, get me in touch if you think you've got anything that's useful for this project. And any other advice, just chuck it in the comments, and we go from there. So stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you at the weekend, hopefully.